I'm Kate McBride. I'm a Senior Lecturer in Population Health at Western Sydney University. I chose epidemiology as a profession because I'm really fascinated by the health of entire populations. So while we know that we can make a difference for individual health, being an epidemiologist actually allows me to investigate reasons for ill health within an entire population and make changes based on my own research. I was drawn to teaching epidemiology because I love the idea that students don't really know what it is until they start doing it. So they've got a bit of an idea, and of course since COVID-19 lots of people have much more of an idea about what epidemiology actually does. But I love the idea of opening students' eyes up to how we can really manipulate data and use data to actually improve the health of populations. And it's really great, particularly at the moment, because we can use the COVID-19 pandemic with some fantastic examples of how epidemiologists have actually impacted on the outcome of disease in certain settings. I was actually drawn to Western Sydney University because I like the idea of the university being a university that's very much focused on the health of the local population. So as we know, in Western Sydney we have some really unique health issues and we have some unique population characteristics as well. So Western Sydney University is fantastic because a lot of the research is really focused on that local community, and the university itself is very supportive of generating research that works for the health of the people of Western Sydney. We have some fantastic postgraduate courses in epidemiology at Western Sydney, and I really like them because there's a range of courses and options for students. So our major course is Master of Epidemiology, and this is a superb course for people who are interested in going into the epidemiology field, because we have such a broad range of different epidemiological subjects as well as biostatistics subjects that really give students a firm foundation to go into an epidemiology career in the future. As well as those courses, we also have some more like professional development degrees. So for example, individuals who are perhaps already working in health and really like the idea of learning more about epidemiology, they might like to come along and do a graduate certificate, which takes 6 months, which gives them a good solid foundation in epidemiology without that 2-year master's. Epidemiologists have had a really important role within the COVID-19 pandemic. I think all of us have seen Flatten the Curve, and we're the new rock stars apparently of the research world, but they really have played a very important part in terms of helping to inform what we need to do to mitigate disease transmission within the community and to really try and drive down disease rates. Not only that, epidemiologists have actually been involved at the coalface in terms of doing those disease investigations. So for example, I was involved in disease investigations in Western Sydney, helping to find out where those cases actually been infected by the disease and who they may have actually passed COVID-19 onto. So there's been a number of areas where epidemiologists really have been absolutely crucial in trying to not only reduce transmission rates, but also trying to think out those strategies for how we can mitigate the impacts of the disease further. The role of epidemiologists after COVID-19 is absolutely crucial. So I think there's a bit of a misinformation out there that once COVID-19's over, epidemiologists are out of a job. But I think in part that's that lack of understanding that we don't just look at infectious disease, but we also look at chronic disease as well. So we're becoming more and more aware now that there are certain aspects of COVID-19 that are really impacting on broader aspects of health. So for example, mental health, people aren't attending for cancer screening or having chronic disease conditions seen to, for example, by going to see their GP. So it's likely that after COVID-19, we're going to see quite a big burden of disease from those types of conditions that are really essential to be investigated by epidemiologists to see what the impact of COVID-19 has been, how can we address these health issues in the community. I'd like prospective students who may be thinking about studying epidemiology to realise that this discipline is absolutely crucial in terms of public health, and it's the science that actually underpins public health. So when you're thinking about studying epidemiology, think about the importance of the future role of epidemiologists and how much we're needed within the wider community, as demonstrated by COVID-19, to actually reduce the impact of disease across a broad population.